Start your journey today by liking, subscribing, and sharing our YouTube channel, KnowledgeWell Media, or by going to our Square site at knowledgewell-media.square.site and perusing over the available content and information. Also by submitting your email at the bottom of the Square site page in the Stay in the Loop section to receive priority information, specials, and other insider details. Or by signing up for a 1-hour consultation to tailor your specific educational needs in beginning your journey. You may do so at the aforementioned Square site, once again at knowledgewell-media.square.site. Here are a few other items in demand on our Square site. The Person Defined series, a 9-part video lecture series, comprehensively outlining the scheme to artfully deceive mankind into trading away his birthright, his natural liberties, and inherent rights. Pre-orders for The Yellow Bricks of Emerald, the first edition, offered presently as an ebook only. This book comprehensively uncovers the legal schemes, past, present, and future, of the elite powers and the U.S., subjecting American citizens to servitude and allegiance due to their own ignorance. The KnowledgeWell Video Lecture Series Trust Course, a comprehensive lecture series educating on the history, effects, and administration of the wealth-preserving, asset-protecting, private commercial entity known as a trust. Plus, we have our very own template and instructions to help you set up yours. And, coming soon, our apparel and product store for all things KnowledgeWell, including shirts, hats, jackets, cups, bumper stickers, and more. For all this and much, much more, as well as for any questions or comments, email to knowledgewell4u@gmail.com or go to our Square site at knowledgewell-media.square.site. And now, you've been made free. What are you going to do with it? live. We're live. Thank you for being here. Make sure you hit that like button as you come on in. Gonna have a great show today, great discussion. Again, so glad that you are here. A lot of things have been transpiring through the week. Let me know how the sound is. Make sure that everybody is happy with the quality. Yeah, just hit me in the comment section. Let me know how it sounds. If it's to your liking, if I need to turn up a little bit, trying to monitor the meters as well. But so glad you're here. What is today? Sunday, the what? The 24th of September. And yeah, like I said, this week has been just amazing. Just amazing. Shout out to your state that you are hailing from, that you are listening from. We're going to go in today as promised. Let me know that you are here. Look in the comment, or put your comments in the comment section. Hit that thumbs up button, whatever. If you need to get in contact with me, make sure that you reach out to me at knowledgewellforyou@gmail.com, right there on the bottom of the screen. Yeah, you can set yourself up for consultations. Any information that you hear or have heard, if you got questions, doubts, you need law to back up. You want to see law that backs up any claims that I have made. That's the only way that you're going to actually find truth, is when you challenge individuals to their assertions, their claims, and then you challenge them to prove that in law. All right, we're going to be really dealing with that topic today, doing a thorough dental flossing, because there is so much conjecture out there. There are so many emotional engagements. There are so many self-truths, which is fine. We all have the right to our expression, even our opinions. We all have that right. But when it comes to the legal order, the things of the legal order, it has no standing. It has no standing. You cannot bring your personal conjecture, how you feel about a certain situation, or something that you learned from a YouTube think tank. You can't bring that into the legal order and expect that you're going to get remedy. It does not work that way. It doesn't matter how many people you get together, put yourself under one name, and free thinkers, freedom fighter, whatever you want to call yourself. It's a wonderful sentiment, and I strongly encourage unity over division. But the legal order is established. It's established. You're not going to change it. All right? You're not going to change it. Your military is not big enough. So it's a futile attempt. That's what it is. And we're going to go into that. Bobby Massey, thank you for being here. All right. So glad that you're here. Thank you for remaining faithful. All right. We're going to have a great time. Very informative. And as usual, we're here to dispel the myths, the misconceptions, the misinformations. That's what we are here to do. Make no mistake about it. I'm not here to make friends. If friends are nice, but I am not here. That's not the purpose of this platform. It's not to be popular, to make friends and all that kind of stuff. I said that I was going to help present accurate information that you can disseminate through, make your own choice and your own decision as a man or woman, based on the facts. And then you decide what moves to make based on that. Obviously, we can't provide you with legal advice, education, and some people say entertainment, which I'm not crazy about. This whole emotional engagement has really just rubbed me the wrong way this whole week, because people really don't have anything of quality, any basis really to stand upon except for that which they believe. But you're entitled to your beliefs. You're entitled to your religions. That's it. That's all it is. You can believe in whatever gods you want to believe in. Whatever some of the social mores that you have this destined to believe in. That's all you. In the private, it's all you. Do whatever you do. But when it comes to this public thing, it does not hold a candle. It cannot hold a candle. The system is extant. So let's get started. Let somebody else know that we are live right now. I just feel like my camera shot is off balance for some reason. Beware, there's a horrible virus, flu, pneumonia combination going around. Make sure you're washing your hands, and be careful. Be careful. It took me down for about 2 days. I was bedridden. So something is going around. Something is going around. You know, aside from the common cold and, the common flu and all that kind of stuff, but there is something going around. I'm not saying panic. No, you get you some fresh lemon, you get you some teas, detox your system. We're full of toxins as it is anyways. We all need a good cleansing, intermittent fasting or something. Do something. When you put something bad in, which we're prone to do, we're going to put bad things in. We're subject to it all day long anyways, right? So make sure you put two good things in on top of the one bad thing. It's the law of averages. I mean, the point is your body is able to purge itself after so many days of any toxin anyways. Okay? So no need to live in a perpetual state of fear concerning the body receiving any toxicity. It will purge itself. You have to give it every opportunity to do so. Okay? And water is not sufficient. Water is merely a flushing agent. Obviously, they strip everything out of the water anyways. Highly fluorinated, as you know, with all the other metals and stuff. So water is merely a flushing agent. You need something that will pull the toxins to the center, and then you douse yourself with water to flush all those toxins out. Water does not properly and successfully hydrate you, nor provide you with any nutrients. So you got to find a way to put nutrients into you. I was listening, just, getting going here, just a little talk. I was listening to somebody that was talking about fruits and vegetables and how nature has afforded us hydration through these plants and vegetables and fruits that we eat already. And so you're kind of getting the best of both worlds when you're eating a diet high in fruits and vegetables. Anyways, you're getting hydrated at the same time. Your body will let you know what it needs. If things are tasting over salty, you're probably dehydrated. Drinking, liters of water a day is not putting stuff in you. It's merely taking things out, flushing stuff out. So I usually try to drink a lot of coconut water, which is supposed to be nature's best hydration. And do your research and homework on whatever else is out there. Keep the sugars low. Sugar is nothing but poison to our system. There is nothing good about sugar in your system, period, point blank. We really could live without it. Yes, it's a drug. You're going to have to wean yourself off. But you really don't need it, period, point blank. Period. You want to, balance your system. Not over acidify it. They say that disease, infections, inflammations, and all that kind of stuff thrive in an acidic environment. Let's see here, looking at the comment section. Oh, Twins is here. Thank you for being here. Hydrogen water. All right. You got information on that? Please feel free. Please feel free to share. Please feel free to share. All right. So what I want to do first off, okay, I like to lay a basis. Hold on real quick. I like to lay a foundation and a basis. What I want to do is I want to define something real fast. I want to define the word debate real quick. This is not our topic, but it bears stating. Let me share my screen here. You'll understand where I'm going in a moment if you don't already. What is a debate? Debate. A legal debate, this is a legal dictionary. Legal debate, or Wikipedia's definition. A legal debate is a discussion between lawyers, legal academics, jurists, politicians, and others who might have an interest or expertise in the law about a particular legal issue. I wanted the legal definition of debate. I didn't want legal debate. Let's see. I'm gonna go here. In Scottish civil procedure, that part of an action where legal argument takes place only on the pleas in law. It can take place before any proof if the plea is preliminary. Okay, that's not what I want. Just give me a freaking definition of debate, please. Will you help me out? A discussion to put forth reasons for or against in which a difference of opinion is expressed. That's pretty good, pretty general. Okay. But it's got to be based on reason, right? Both sides, either side presents reason. Okay. Let's see if I can get something else. Okay, let's see. A hearing or legal points. Let's see what Merriam-Webster has to say. Contention by words or arguments, a regulated discussion of a proposition between two matched sides, to argue about, to engage in debate. Let me turn my ringer off. Y'all said last time it was going crazy. I don't know why it's so difficult to. A contention by words or argument. All right. I tell you what I'm going to do. Let me go to my favorite spot. Let's go back to the origin of the word, see what they tell us. I'm going to go to Etymon Online, if it gives us anything. To quarrel, dispute, also to combat, fight, make war, also discuss, deliberate upon the pros and cons of, right? A quarrel, dispute, disagreement. Okay, sense of contention by argument is from late 14th century. A formal dispute, a debating contest, interchange of arguments in a somewhat formal manner. Okay. Controvert, dispute, oppose by argument, discuss, contend. Okay, you get the idea. There's a form of discussion, to investigate. I like that terminology, right? Point being is that we debate, okay? We debate to discuss a particular area of contention, okay, where two opposing sides state opposing viewpoints. Now, if you're just going to argue without any expression, without any proof or fact of that which you are arguing or debating, then it's fruitless. It's merely an argument. And usually in an argument, no one wants to be wrong. Okay? A debate is more formal, usually having a mediator. It's organized, okay? And it's for the benefit of those who are experiencing, okay, in the peanut gallery, as it were, okay? It's not about the two people that are arguing or debating. It's for the people. We're trying to find or reach a commonality, okay? All else is fruitless. It's not producing anything for anybody. Obviously, the reason I'm saying that is because, I've been strongly encouraging more debate, but not argument. I'm not encouraging, two people to be yelling at each other. There is no admission of any fallibility, error in thought or ideology. What is the point then? What is the point? What is the point of doing or participating in a debate? Secondly, what is the point of getting upset? If you have foundation and basis behind what it is you are contending, then stand upon that. Why stand upon emotional engagement? Okay? It's like nowadays, everybody's shooting each other. Back in the day, we used to throw fists. We used to throw hands, right? Back in the day, you could stand to take a butt whooping. Today, you can't stand it. People can't stand to take a butt whooping. So now we have to introduce, instruments of fatality. Literally, you want to take somebody out because you can't whoop them. So everything in the argument becomes a personal vendetta. Okay. And it's persistent. It just keeps going. It keeps going. Because it was never about information in the first place. It was about being right. And when somebody steps on your toes about something that you thought was right, and you don't have an answer, you merely have conjecture. That's all you can do is talk. You don't have any basis to back up that what you're saying. Whose fault is that? What are you upset about? Why do we got to resort to expressed violence or threat or trying to strike at someone's character? Why do we got to resort to that? I thought we were in a community of free thinkers. If we're not free thinkers, then why are you trying to combat the system, which you're saying is stepping on your rights? See, that is irrational. It's irrational. You're fighting against something that you are participating in yourself. You're not proving yourself to be a free thinker. You're very intolerant. Because if somebody comes and tries to show you something else that is abrasive or in controversy with that which you have been stating, because you feel like you're a god, what's the difference between what you're doing and what the state is allegedly doing, what you're claiming that the state is doing then? What's the difference? Why can't you use your basis, your argument, the facts that you have? Why can't you just assert those? And then we walk away from that debate. Whoever lost it, it's up to the people. It's not up to us. It's up to the people. So leave it that way. Let them make their decision. And then you got, cronies. You got your cronies, that jump on board with you because they can't be leaders. They got to be followers. The whole bullying scenario and all that kind of stuff. For what? Because we're debating? Because I see things differently than you do, or I'm showing facts and you don't like that? That's why now you got to get your cronies. You need your gang. You need your gang. You can't stand by yourself. One person says something, then 3 other people got to jump on board with that. When did this become about that? When did this become about that? I welcome all debates, all dissenters. I've always opened the platform for that purpose. I'm not running. So if you have something of substance and your argument and debate is upon that substance with facts, then let's hash that out like men and stop with this chick stuff. You know what I mean? This Atlanta housewife stuff. Because ain't nobody getting anything off of that. The people in the audience are not being built up. But I think we know why the fallout, why it shakes out like this. And it's because you lack substance. And you revert to your lower self of being a bully. Because you don't have anything else to back it up. So with that being said, I'm not going to participate in your lower vibrations. I'm a teacher, I'm an educator. I let the books and the established fact and precedents do the talking. I just merely am a vessel through which that information can be transmitted. That's it. You're going to have a hard time arguing with me. And if you like to vibrate on a lower frequency, your true colors are going to show through. Because if it was really about information and helping the people, there would be no reason for you to act out the way you're acting. But that's not really what it's about, is it? So, with that being said, I'm going to go over, painstakingly go over the points of contention, okay, that are pervasive from top to bottom, the gurus on the top to the gurus on the bottom. I'm going to go over that as promised. Okay. And then if you have a contention, if you have a debate, an adverse position, as usual, I will not silence you. You may come on here and state your adversarial position. And it will be respected, but I will stand firm upon what's known as the legally protectable interest requirement. Anybody can make claims. Anybody. But if you cannot demonstrate in the law your claim, then in contemplation of the legal order, you don't have grounds to stand upon. It does not matter how you feel about it. It does not matter how you feel about it. What matters is what you can demonstrate in the law. I have told you all week that when it comes to the legal order, the legal system, they only have one requirement. Speaking from the perspective of the judiciary, their orders and their judgments are what control the executive as far as execution. They're going to execute the order of the court. The executioner or the executive branch is not going to haggle with you about your claims, about your beliefs. They're not going to haggle with you. They're merely going to require a court order or judgment by the court. And it is their job under the separation of powers to execute and enforce upon that. Therefore, if you cannot find a legally protectable right or interest backed up by case precedents and case law and the codifications of the legislature, known as positive law, enactments of a duly authorized legislature, then you have no legally protectable interest. The passport issue, okay? I've done it, I've participated in it, and it was fruitless. I am not going to lie to you about that, for if it was beneficial, if it actually produced something, I would be on here telling you to do it. But I cannot say that. Have I done an explanatory statement? Yes, I have. Have I done the DS-11 form, filled it out the way of the popular ideology in our demographic? Have I done that? Yes, I have. Have I gotten a response back from the State Department? Yes, I have. Will they still issue a passport? Yes, they will. Does that mean that you got or pushed through or had enforced all of the declarations you made in an explanatory statement? No, it doesn't. Does receiving a passport after doing that process mean that you have won. No, it doesn't. How about we just start there? Let me demonstrate. Because for some reason, the fine print is being overlooked when the DS-11 form clearly states on it who may use it and who it is designed for. So let's just take a quick look. I want to deal with all of these topics. And again, if you have an adverse position, you are more than welcome to come on and state your position, like gentlemen or gentlewomen. I'm not here to shit on you. I'm here to discuss this with facts. Let's look at the DS-11 form and see who this form is intended to be used by. I care not about how people feel about this information, because this is not the Atlanta Housewives. This is not, a feelings and emotional type of platform. You came here for education, not for me to tickle you and coddle you. You came for right knowledge. Let's share screen here. One moment. You read it for yourself. This is the DS-11 form. Can you use, here's the question that I am addressing. Is this the form to be used to declare that you are foreign to the United States? To declare that you are some other type of national, American national? Is this the form to do that? Will this provide you remedy? That's the question I'm going to address right now. Can you use this form with an explanatory statement to claim that you are foreign to the United States? Let's be clear. Here's your answer. The anatomy of the DS-11 form. That's what this segment will be called, because somehow we're missing the fine print and we're being disillusioned because we're missing the fine print. Because somebody had a brainiac idea to just take a piece of this and then build a whole religion off of it. Are you tired of that yet? This is a U.S. Department of State document. Whose is it? They put their name across the top. It's the U.S. Department of State. What is it for? It's an application, meaning you are filling this out in order to become a member of something. Just like you apply to become a member of a club or a food store or a video store or something, whatever. You fill out an application first. That's how it starts. That's expressing your interest in something. What are you expressing your interest in? Application for a what kind of passport? Whose property is it? It's clear. It's the US's. You're applying to become a member of whatever they're offering. And it's the US. Eligibility, right across the top of the doggone form in section A, it tells you who is eligible to use this form. Now look, can you read it? Here it is. This form right here. This form is used to apply for a U.S. passport book and or card in person at an acceptance facility, a passport agency by appointment, or a U.S. embassy. U.S. is all over this thing. How are you using this to become or be designated as foreign to the U.S.? If it's a U.S. document, you must go to the U.S. embassy or consulate or to a passport agency even to submit it. The U.S. passport is a travel document attesting to one's identity and issued to who? Who is it issued to? See, I'm not confused about this. I don't know why everybody's confused about this. My question is, how do you use the U.S.'s property to also claim that you are foreign to the U.S. when it's only for United States citizens and or non-citizen U.S. nationals? It's only for those two types of legal or legally recognized persons. Where is the confusion at? A U.S. citizen is a legally recognized person. It is a person that is birthed. That's right, I said birthed. It is a person, a type of person that is birthed through the legal process called U.S. citizenship. U.S. citizenship is the legal process to establish a legal link to the state. What would that look like? Let me demonstrate. I want to be absolutely painstakingly clear. Enough of the bull, as they say. What does that look like? I'm going to show you the definition. Just one moment. Let's get clarity. U.S. citizenship is you're going to see it for yourself, by definition, the legal process that establishes watch this word here, don't get tripped up, a legal link to the state. You ask yourself a question. Why would you need, I'm going to try not to cuss today. I'm going to try and be good today. I might slip a few. If you got sensitive children, this week may not be the week for KnowledgeWell Media, because we got to get this right. This is getting real tiring. It's too easy is what I'm trying to say. It's too easy. We should not be getting tripped over this. Look, U.S. citizenship is the legal process to establish a legal, what type of link? It's a legal link. Legal suggests a contrivance or a construction. A contrivance is something opposite to the natural. Hence, legal. That is not under natural law. That is under positive law. That is a man-made concept. Legal. I'm going to demonstrate. Remind me to demonstrate why that is true. Everything is going to be backed up by fact today. Listen, the legal link to a state. Now, why? Let me do this word picture. You need a legal process in order to be linked to the state. So there's you, the natural man. I'm just going to put NM, natural man. There is the legal link. I'll put that in a different color. I want to be absolutely, I'm just going to do that symbol there as a continual link. And then you have the state. You know, best I got is purple, I think, right now. And then I don't know, whatever, a blob. We'll just call that the state. Hopefully you can see that. Listen, y'all. Listen, hear me. U.S. citizenship. This is a legal process to become a U.S. citizen. What it does is it legally links the human to the state. It, once again, the natural man otherwise has no link to the state. Because why? The natural must stay on the natural side of the ledger. All artificial must stay in the underworld, aka the land of the dead, aka corporations and corpses. All of that must stay on one. They can never commingle. They can never cross, for that would be a moral wrongdoing, aka sin, aka a trespass or a transgression. That's what the scripture is trying to portray, trying to convey to you. What fellowship hath the dead with the living? What fellowship have light with dark? They are never supposed to mix, for that would be a blight, a sin, a moral wrongdoing. Transhumanism is the personification of that very ideology that is in Scripture. That is the end result, as it were, if there were an end. I don't believe that there's an end. I think there's a steady progression, but I digress. You are legally linked to the state. How? Legally linked. Without this legal link, you are not a citizen. Therefore, you are just natural man. Okay? This is what is going on. This is what people are not understanding. This is why people are rage against the machine, trying to tear the system down and all that kind of stuff, because they have not got this. They don't understand this concept here. You're thinking that everything is against you as a human being. The legal order is not considering your humanity. They're not. Not when they're issuing out their statutes, codes, and ordinances under the legal order. A U.S. citizen is one, it incorporates all of this here. The human came to the United States on a boat or ship or whatever, got off on Liberty Island and said, hey, I kind of like the ideology of the United States. I kind of like the capitalist system. I kind of like the promise that if you work hard, you heard this, your forefathers and foremothers heard this. There was rumblings all the way over in the country that you originate from, some of us. And they heard that over in America, over there is money, gold in the streets. You can make anything happen. All things are possible over there. So they jumped on the ship and sailed for 6 months, believing in what's called now the American dream. And guess what? Some of y'all know it works. It works. How many of the Asian folks are coming over here starting business? Their whole family, you see them, they're there every day, all day. They don't take days off like lazy Americans do. They're working. You see the Muslim brothers and the Middle Eastern, what they call Middle Eastern folks, come over here. They're not playing games. They come over here to do business. Some of my Mexican brothers, Hispanic brothers and sisters, they don't play games. They come over here and they work all day, sun up to sundown. And what do they do with their money? They pocket a little bit of it and send the rest home. That is the greatness that our system affords, that this United States system affords. But you must be first legally linked to the state or the government, the U.S. And that is through U.S. citizenship or naturalization. It's a legal process to be legally linked to the state or the U.S. Now, something you may not have noticed. This is what is missed right here. That link to the state suggests that there is something there. There is something there. For if there was not something there, there would be no link. This thing right here is what is tripping everybody up. You have to have knowledge of what this thing is. And this is what I'm going to show you. What is that thing? They're not talking about you. Don't take this personal, this setup, U.S. citizenship and all that. Don't take this personal. This is merely your, uh-oh, I lost my screen. Hold on. All right. This is merely the key word right here. This is merely a ship. It's merely a vessel. That's all it is. But you're taking it personal as a natural man. You're taking it personal. You're not supposed to take it personal. You just handle business like you're supposed to, using the very ship or vessel that links you to the state. This game is too simple. It's too easy. Some of y'all been playing Monopoly all your life and still don't understand what you're looking at. It's too easy. This is nothing to be upset about. You just didn't know the difference. You didn't know that the entity is not you and you are not the entity. I'm going to show you how it happens. Therefore, you can reverse engineer it. You want to talk status correction? They give you remedy in law. But the remedy is not to rage against the machine, try to use a passport application to prove that you are foreign to the United States using their own documentation, mind you. I ain't finished with that. Hold on. Let me look at the comment section. Ray Archer is asking a question, I think. U.S. citizen. Only they denied mine as a foreign citizen and told me when I obtain citizenship, I can reapply for a U.S. passport. Let me see if I can get, okay. U.S. citizen only, they denied mine as a foreign citizen. You're saying they denied your passport, the passport application as a foreign citizen. Is that what you're saying? Provide me greater clarity on that assertion there, Ray Archer. Heather Bell says, but it was legal for them to trick our parents into being citizens of the corporation with the birth certificate. I'm glad you put it that way, Heather. No. Okay. How should I put it? I was saying back in the day, right, that, you know, we were tricked, we were deceived, et cetera, et cetera. So I did have that belief, okay? But when I came to the understanding of the legal processes and how this stuff works, we all have to volunteer, okay? It's called an implied agreement. It's called a social compact. Basically, it exists. Am I popping, y'all? Y'all got to let me know how the audio is. I feel like I'm popping. If it's terrible quality, please let me know. Don't just let me, okay? Nothing worse than trying to learn something and you got all this stuff going on in the background, popping and all that. So Heather Bell, no, how should I put it? Without seeming like a total sympathizer to the state governments and all that kind of stuff. I'm not, okay? I'm a realist. I'm an educator, okay? We weren't necessarily tricked. We were just without information and knowledge, meaning the onus and the responsibility to pass on information, just like legacy properties and what have you, is upon those who came before you, okay? The public school system is only designed to make you into a productive U.S. or state citizen, okay? Their job is not to tell you how to win at this game called life, okay? The haves want to basically establish and make sure that their family, their progeny always stay at the top. So why would they give you the cheat notes to the system that they have learned how to play through diligent study, through going to on to secondary education and what have you? They learn the tricks of the trade. And then what they did was they handed that down to their family to make sure that they have that edge. Make no mistake about it. This is a capitalist system. That's just the type of system it is. This was all about business. It was always about business. The plantations were all about business. When the founding fathers of 13 colonies came over here, it was all about business. This was not, what they say, it's not personal, this is business. You don't live in the conventional country, in the bush somewhere, or in a village, or out somewhere. You live on top of a plantation from its founding, 1789. How do we know that? Well, go ask the slaves. Go ask anybody that worked voluntarily or otherwise for someone else and picked their cotton and raised their crops and even raised their children. This is the system we are a part of. And whether you like it or not, it works. It works. And you know what? We don't have to play, nor do we have to stay here. But you're not going to change the way of the beast. It is inherently a capitalist system, meaning it's dog eat dog out here. Some of y'all talking about, I live in New York, I'm from the Bronx, I'm hardcore and all that kind of stuff. Then you should be at home. You should be popping, because that's all this is about. Has no room for emotion or conjecture. It's a capitalist system. Get in or get out. That's what they say. That's what it is. So with that being said, they didn't trick us per se. Yes, you may not have known, but they didn't trick us. You still have access to information. How bad do you want it is the question. What will you spend your time doing? Because while you're sleeping or drinking or kicking it or partying, somebody else wants to win at this game, like Donald Trump. And so they don't sleep or sleep very little. You ever see some of these? It's amazing. Some of these superstars, their lifestyle. We see, behind the camera, on the other side of the camera, or we see the glitz and the glamour and the fame. But I was astounded when I saw some of these, even the singers, how they work out. J-Lo, Usher, look at their workout and their training regimen and their diet. Look how their agents limit them to what they can do. Now, they can take the occasion to say, wait a minute, this is America. I shouldn't have any limitations upon me. I'm free. But not when you're bound to the contract. You're not. When you sign a record deal for 5, 10 records or whatever. No, you waive some of them freedoms that you had. I remember I was in Milwaukee, walking through the Grand Avenue Mall, and I bumped into a dude. He was walking that way, I was walking this way, and we hit shoulders. He was on the phone. He was very upset, very irate. And he was saying, they won't let me do this. They won't let me do that. Man, I'm sick of this. I'm sick of being stuck here and whatever. Well, it turned out to be Tyrese. And he was pissed off because his security, his agents wouldn't let him go chill through the mall. It's called the Grand Avenue Mall. He was pissed. He was complaining to somebody, yelling. So much so that he wasn't even paying attention, and he hit me in the shoulder as he went by. We both turned and looked at each other like it was, about to be something. But somebody was like, that's Tyrese. I was like, okay. I've never been starstruck. But anyways, that's my point. Once you sign on the dotted line, once you join yourself as a member to the political society, the political community, you leave at the door some of those individual liberties. Because why? Because it becomes necessary in order to have cohesiveness in a statutory or regulatory system, so that in the game of commerce and trade, everybody is on an equal footing, equal playing field, or, at least somewhat. Because otherwise you would have monopolies. You'd have people cornering the market. You wouldn't have fair trade. Okay. So no, again, they didn't trick you necessarily into it. You and your parents just got involved in something that you didn't bother to research and study. The parents didn't know anything about this. A lot of people, if you look like me, our parents were spending time trying to stay alive. So they didn't have time to study like we're doing today. But oh well, we're here today and we're able to study. So let's make it happen. Let's use the system the way it was designed, as long as we're here. We don't have, or you can spend your time complaining about it. But unless you're going to leave, pack up, expatriate, it's useless. It's futile because you're not going to change a 250-year system. You're just not going to. They don't have to recognize any argument that you bring if it's not backed up by law. We weren't tricked into being citizens of the corporation. We were not. You are in possession of the birth certificate. You have unlimited access to books, okay, and the advent of the internet. Now you have AI. Use that to reverse engineer the process of the birth certificate. Figure it out. Okay? Since you have it in your possession, well, you can research it all you want to and find out about it, what it's really about. I've done it. I can tell you exactly what the birth certificate is. I can tell you exactly what the COLB is. I can tell you why they created them and what their purpose is. We'll cover a little bit about that. I'm throwing a lot of information out there. So make sure that you remind me if in a little bit here, you said you were going to cover this. You said you were going to cover this. Okay. I'll depend on y'all for that. All right. Because I'm just spitting a lot. Okay. Ray Archer says, what if you have dual citizenship? You already have dual citizenship. You already have dual citizenship. There's the U.S. person, and then you have the state in which you reside. You have that citizenship as well. And let me tell you something else. You create new citizenships on the daily. Anytime that you go and join yourself to any kind of membership, whether it be a working out club or a restaurant, anytime you fill out an application, you become a member or aka a citizen of that industry. You repeat this same cycle every day, all day. Go get a Macy's card. Go get a Kohl's card. I mean, we got Kohl's here. You're creating little citizens every single time you do that. Every application you fill out, you're doing the same thing as the process of citizenship. You're becoming a citizen of that business. And they're going to assign to you a unique identifying number, just like you got a social security number as a U.S. person. The same process over and over and over again, because that is the way of the beast. That is the way of commerce and trade. Now, are you going to go and complain when you sign up for a Macy's card that you don't like some of their policies and their procedures as a citizen of Macy's? You can try, but I highly doubt you're going to change their political structure just because you don't like it. Because you can merely end and terminate your contract, or AKA expatriate. You can give up your citizenship to Macy's. But one thing you cannot do is use your conjecture or your emotional arguments in order to affect their policies. It's not going to happen. Same thing with the United States. Same thing with the state in which you reside. And that is the misconception. People are upset, disenfranchised, angry at the system. It's not the system. It's the people behind the system. There is corruption. Don't mistake me for being a sympathizer, as somebody stated in a comment. I commented on somebody else's channel. Well, if you want to be part of this corrupt system and you want to condone their activity, then go ahead and you do that. Yeah, because that's what I'm advocating for. Yeah. I want to stand behind a corrupt system. That's what I'm advocating for. See, that nonsensical type of argument and expression, it does not make any sense. Why would I be wasting my time doing what I'm doing, educating people and what have you, if I just want to be part of a corrupt system? I'm an agent, all that kind of stuff. I do have better things on my Sunday I could be doing, like chilling, relaxing, maxing old cool and old shooting some b-ball outside of the school when a couple of guys that were up to no good, a couple of friends that were up to no good, I don't know, whatever. You do have dual citizenship, U.S. person, or U.S. citizenship, and you have your state citizenship. Ray Archer said, how can some people obtain a global entry?
You don't need a global. They're going to bottleneck us into it anyways. You know, they're talking this global citizenship and all that kind of stuff. One world government, one world currency, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, we're being bottlenecked into it anyway. So just hold on. You don't have to worry about it. It's coming anyways. Just keep doing what you're doing. It's going to happen anyways. Ray Arch, yeah, right. You were not born here. Okay, so yeah, so you were foreign. Okay, but I forgot what your point was. Let me look back. U.S. citizen only. They denied mine as a foreign citizen and told me when I obtain citizenship, I can reapply for a U.S. passport. Exactly. Exactly. Because the U.S. passport is not for foreigners. Let me get back to my. That's exactly what I'm saying, Ray. Thank you for demonstrating my point. Here you go, y'all. If you don't like me because you're taking shit personal, listen to somebody else. Ray Archer was born in a different country. He was foreign to the United States. He applied for the passport. And what did they say, Ray Archer? Look on your screen, y'all. This is now. I'm not saying it. He's saying it. He was a foreigner. He tried to apply as a foreigner using the DS-11 form. What did they say? Let's read it together. U.S. citizen. They denied mine as a foreign citizen and told me when I obtain citizenship, meaning U.S. citizenship, I can reapply for a U.S. passport. So again, who told you? Who convinced you to use the DS-11 form to claim you are a foreigner when it's only intended, as you're reading right here, for U.S. citizens or non-citizen U.S. nationals? Are we okay on this topic? Can we move on to another one? Have I proven it based on fact, not conjecture? Can we move forward? Did we put this to rest? This process is now myth busted. Can we move forward? Give me a 777 if it's clear. If not, I will continue to, I'm blue in the face to convince you based on the law, based on facts, that that's not the proper process to demonstrate that you are foreign or desire to be. Give me a 777 in the comment section and I can move on. Give me a 777 in the comment section if I've put it to rest that the U.S. passport is not to be used to try to prove that you are foreign to the United States. You cannot use the United States instrumentalities against itself. If we have put it to rest today, give me a 777 so we can move forward. Everybody, I want to make absolutely certain. Please hit the thumbs up button as well. If I put it to sleep, if I've clearly proven that the United States passport application known as the DS-11 is not the appropriate process to deal with foreign matters, to prove to the United States State Department that you are foreign. If it's clear to you, give me a 777. Am I misleading you? If I am misleading you and I have not done my due diligence in presenting a case, a bona fide case against the passport as the process to prove you're foreign to the United States, if I have not done that, give me a 666. To thine own self be true. People, let me just say this, and they know who I'm talking to because they're probably here. But what makes you think if your root is poisoned, if your attitude is wrong, if you don't have a pure heart behind what it is that you're doing, what makes you think that your product is of your fruit that comes off of your tree will be healthy? Some of us don't have the right intention behind what we're doing. To thine own self be true. Why are you here? What are you really doing? All right, so since I didn't get many 777s, nor did I get any 666s, I have little to no participation. Thank you, Roblox. Thank you, Terry Camp. Are we to judge intentions? Don't we do that all day? Isn't that a point of survivability? Don't you need to know somebody's intention, whether they're good or bad towards you, to protect your interests and your family's interests? I used to watch USFL, and I used to wonder, why is he so upset? Why is he so upset? Moving on. Archer says had to obtain U.S. citizenship. Yes, you have to be a United States citizen before, meaning you have to be legally linked to the state or the U.S. before you can have a passport. Meaning they want your business first. They want you to become a member first. Then you can use our instrumentalities. Remember and recall one of my favorite cases from 1857, Dred Scott. Do you know the premise, the basis for that case? It was that Dred Scott was trying to use the United States federal court to sue his slave master. Well, in short, he was told, you cannot. You are ineligible to use our instrumentalities of state and government. Why? Because you were not considered, nor ever meant to be, a citizen of the United States, as per the founding fathers and their intent. Therefore, as of that time in 1857, and up until 1868, when the 14th Amendment created a new type of citizen, a U.S. person, until that point in time, Negroes, African Americans, whatever title you want to give them, were ineligible because they did not have United States citizenship. Therefore, they did not have a legal link to the state nor the United States. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? You cannot use the DS-11 form to try to prove that you don't have a legal link to the United States. That makes no sense. Thank you. Heather Bell says, I can hear you. Archer says, only U.S. citizens can obtain U.S. passport. Some out there giving false information to obtain U.S. passport. Again, to thine own self be true, each and every one of you. Don't claim that something has worked if it has not, in fact, worked for you. You can if you want to. But it's injurious to our community. Divine, full disclosure. What do you mean? I think I'm pretty much fully disclosing a lot right now. And we're only on the first topic of the passport. I clarify what you're saying. Expatriation is a way. It absolutely is. It absolutely is. In fact, it is, dare I say, the way. You want me to show you? All right. Not a problem. If you go to the 8 U.S.C. section 1481, talking about loss of nationality. This tells you all about expatriation. All you have to do is go here and go to the notes section right here. Once you click on the notes section, see, this is what I do. This is what I do here at KnowledgeWell Media. This is not conjecture. This is not my sentiment. This is not how I feel about the topic. I let my fingers do the talking. That's why cats don't like to debate me. Because you're not just arguing against me or debating me. You have this to contend with. Because I let my fingers do the talking. I go to reputable sources. I'm not just running my mouth, making wild and outlandish claims, trying to convince people to believe in my religion. 8 U.S.C. Section 1481, scroll all the way down to the bottom, and you'll see this right here. You want liberation? I'll give it to you right here. You want to be liberated? But I'm going to give a disclaimer. Know what you're doing. Be completely 100% educated before you jump. Because I'm going to tell you what, the grass is not greener on the other side. If your arch enemy, your nemesis, if you believe that it's the United States, there's nothing good here for you, you need to get away from it, it's evil, mark of the beast, if you believe all that, then I'm going to give you the way out right now. But I'm going to warn you, this is not legal advice. If you jump without that parachute, you're the only one going to hit the ground. I'm not coming with you. But I am an educator, and I have the right to educate. So you want to jump, I'm going to help you jump. I'm going to help you jump right here. This is how you get out. You want to get out? I'm going to help you get out. But this is not legal advice, nor should it be construed as such. This is education. Here you go. This is how it happens. You have the right of expatriation, every single one of you. You want a quick fix? You want instant gratification? Here you go. RS, meaning revised statute, section 1999, provided that. Whereas the right of expatriation is a natural and inherent right of all people. One of the only times that the code is going to use the term people as opposed to person, because yes, sir, and yes, ma'am, They're talking about you in your humanity under natural law. That's why they say you have a natural and inherent right, meaning it's a right that comes from within you. It was not a right granted to you by any man, government, state. I want you to be absolutely certain before you make that decision. This right, they're going to go on to say, is indispensable to the enjoyment of the rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, meaning you should have the unbridled, unfettered right to leave the United States or any country for that matter, whenever you decide. Whenever you decide. And nobody should stand in your way. Listen, and whereas, here's a semicolon here, meaning there's another thought coming there hereafter that's pertaining to the first, but it's independent from the first. And whereas, in the recognition of this principle, what principle? That the right to pack up and leave whenever you so choose is indispensable to your right of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That is a recognized, a legally protectable interest. It is a legally recognized principle that this government has freely. Wait, let me back up. This government, well, this is the U.S. code, so it's got to be the U.S. government. Correct? So in other words, the U.S. government has recognized that natural and inherent rights you have to leave whenever you so choose. And because they have recognized that principle, they have thus freely received immigrants from all nations. They've opened the floodgates to all nations. We will receive any one of you that want to expatriate from your nativity, your state, country of origination. Leave that there and come to the United States. We will freely receive you. And we not only will receive you, but we will invest you with the rights of citizenship. I told you, what is citizenship? The legal link between the individual and the state. They said that since everybody has the right to leave and come and go and come as they please from one nation to the next, to expatriate, to leave your nativity behind, because of that right, we will receive, the U.S. government will take on anybody. And when you get here, we're going to invest you. That is a financial term that suggests what they put in, they want something out of it, interest or whatever you want to call it. They want something back in return. That's a financial term. They've invested all of these immigrants with the rights of citizenship. Oh yes, citizenship comes with rights, but it also comes along with subsequent duties. Ain't nothing free. This is a capitalist society. They are willing to invest, but you're gonna pay. You're gonna give them interest on their investment, and they want your allegiance. They want your membership because they want those taxes. They want your servitude. It's a quid pro quo, a this for that, an exchange. Are we clear? So yes, divine, expatriation is a way. But that means you must leave that which is your nativity. You leave wherever you came from. You leave that behind and you take on these investments of rights, civil and political rights that the U.S. and the state in which you reside affords you in exchange for your loyalty, your citizenship, in exchange for your membership, your allegiance to the state, your voluntary servitude. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? So if you didn't want to play, if you do not want to align yourself, pledge yourself, then merely don't incorporate. Don't sign, fill out the application. And in fact, you see in front of you, you can rescind it through expatriation. This, my man and my woman, is a legally protectable right. This you can stand upon in law, in the court, and have your expatriation recognized. But what you cannot do is use the instrumentalities of the United States to try to claim that you are foreign when they've already afforded you a legal remedy. And that is the legal process of expatriation. All else is futile and will not receive the recognition of the law. Moving on. This matrix is a big game, Heather Bell, a chess match to be exact. Just have to learn how to play the game. That's all it is. That's it and that's all. I couldn't have stated it better. Archer Enterprises says it's misinformation. It has been. Yes, it has been. We're here to clear that up, clear the air. Let my people go, as quoted from Moses. Stop injuring people through misinformation and disinformation. You're giving facts. Thank you. Thank you for that, Divine. Okay. Divine says fire. Are we striving to be a non-citizen national for clarification? In my opinion, I'm not. I kind of like the way that things have been for 250 years. I kind of like it. Why? Did I always like it? No. When I was living in ignorance, when I was bouncing from YouTube channel to YouTube channel, and I had this guru saying this is the way to freedom, and I'm following them over here, and then the next one say, no, actually they're wrong. It's over here. And then I go over here. I kind of like the foundational and fundamental surety I have in the law. It works. I have a ship. I have a legal link with the state and the US, which affords me a maneuverability upon the sea known as commerce. I don't have to strive to try to prove that I'm not a citizen. I need that citizenship. I need that citizenship so that I can participate in commerce and trade. Without the citizenship, without that legal link, I cannot work a job here in the US. I cannot apply for a banking account per se. Okay? They're going to require certain documentation. I can't work jobs. They're going to require certain legal documentations and proofs that I am a naturalized citizen or a citizen of the United States. Why would I injure myself and my family and my potentials and possibilities within the legal realm, within commercial activity? Why would I limit myself? I want to be Damon Dash. I don't want to be him, but I want the opportunities. He is a black man, etc., etc. I get it. I'm just using that for general expression, okay? I understand. Dude on Shark Tank. I want to do what he is able to do. He is a quote unquote black man. I want those opportunities. Do you think they made those opportunities by raging against the machine and trying to prove they're foreign to the United States? These are multimillionaires. Why would I shoot myself in the foot dancing this unfounded conjectural ideology that has no basis in law? Why would I shoot my own self in the foot, limiting why would I waste another 5 years of my life doing this dance that has proven to be unfruitful? Period. It doesn't matter how many more YouTube channels we create, how many other gurus we sit under. One thing's for certain and one thing's for sure and two things is for certain. Nobody is demonstrating provable fact, repeatable facts. Nobody. Bring whomever, because I can guarantee you all they're going to do is try to discredit me. They're not going to deal with the facts. And I don't care if you bring your documentation, your proclamations and declarations of sovereignty and all that kind of stuff. You have no legal recognition. Save that. Because all you doing is clotting up the airwaves and data streams with your picture snapshots of declarations you made. You know how many declarations I have? You know how many times I've done that crap? Man, I got files for days. I would pick up that camera right there and show you. I got a file cabinet full of the declarations and filings I have. And then people got the nerve, oh, you see this stamp on here that says filed? All of my documents say filed. Did that give me remedy? Because some of the people did their jobs and received a filing. That's proof that it worked. What the hell is wrong with you, man? That's your proof, huh? That's your proof, huh? But you still out there racking up tickets. You ain't disclosing to the people how many times you're getting pulled over. You only telling half the story. Ain't nobody got no demonstrable facts about this stuff because none of it's working. I'ma say it because nobody else gonna say it. None of it's working. Bring me any champion, so-called champion, anybody, and I'll eat them words. Bring me one, because I've been doing this. I got more declarations than any of y'all, I bet. I won't bet. But you know what I'm talking about. I got a whole file. Can you see this filing cabinet right here? This is full of declarations. Can you see this? You think I'm joking? I got police history, all the filings I've done to the police forces, all the citizenship filings I've done. I got all this stuff. State contracts. I got all these are filings. I've done all this stuff, man. I got court filings. What's that say? I'm saying I got this stuff, man. I've done all this stuff. I did all the certified mail slips. I've been doing this. This is nothing new. What you think I'm gonna put this up here and say this is proof that this stuff works? Huh? That's what I'm gonna do? That's how we do? You know when it works? when somebody call you from a freaking island somewhere and they showing you, huh? And they got a court order, a judgment from a court order signed saying, leave this man alone, leave him and his family alone. Huh? You know how you can get that? I just showed you. Expatriation. You will get documentation that is recognized in law. That's the only provable way. That's the only thing you're going to have proof about in this way. Not putting up your little filed document stamped by somebody that don't even know what they're doing, never seen a filing like what you did. And so they kind of, some of that stuff slipped through the crack. I've done the UCC. I've done all of that. UCC filings, all of it. I've done all of that. I've done the American National Dance. I've done all of that. Powers of attorneys. I'm out here doing trust for people. None of it worked. None of it. I'm only as potent in my information today because of all of the denials I have gotten. That is how I have learned. And that what has actually opened my eyes. Somebody said, I bet you ain't even been in court. I live in court. Prove to me you've been to federal court. Now, show me you've been to federal court and made your arguments. I've got denial after denial after denial in the federal court. As much information as I know. Imagine that. I'm coming with the facts. Demonstratable, proven fact in law, case law and otherwise. I've been in the federal court. You've been there? How many times have you argued with a U.S. Marshal or a U.S. Attorney? Let me see your filings. Then come and talk to me and tell me what I haven't done. I'll show you mine. I'll show you mine. I'm gonna have look. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna pull out all mine, and I'm gonna match that up against whatever you present, and we'll see who's really been diligent about this. We'll see. Then maybe you understand that everything you talking today, I've done. I've been there, and it ain't worked. None of it's working. None of it's working. And now, what makes me different from you is I'm not afraid to admit that. And because I want to do right by the people, I get ostracized because I'm disclosing the misinformation and disinformation to save people from going down the same pathway. But you want to ostracize me for doing that? You about to put people all the way back through a whole nother revolution of BS. And I'm trying to save the people from going there. And you want to ostracize me? Okay. For your sake, I want you to keep going. Knucklehead, keep going. So you can get where I'm at. Catch up, Mustard. You have to catch up to me. Because I have remedy. I have remedy. Yeah. Anyways, moving on. What about the unwritten rules of equity? What about them, Divine? You got to be more specific. Vigilance is judgment. All right. He's pissed. Yeah, my bad. That's not who I want to be. That's not what I'm tired. I'm tired because I ain't hurt nobody. I'm only trying to help people. I'm not hurting. I'm not over here rich. I can't even get $5 in donations. What you worried about? Ask anybody that's been around here for a moment in time. I'm not out there profiting big off people. I could barely get a $60 consultation. You barking up the wrong tree. Don't ostracize me. I ain't did nothing to you. If you accepted the offer of a debate, what you mad about? What are you mad about? If you didn't have your shit together, you shouldn't came. Don't show up. Save face. Who you mad at? Be mad at yourself. You could have denied. You chose to come. So I chose to tear a hole in you. You the one with threatening to crush something. Nobody told you to put yourself out there. You chose it. Be a man about your shit. I'm also for supporting folks who are legitimately trying to help folks, but those folks doing it for greed and deception, I just don't get why you would do another person like that. Because of pride, because they want to be right and not necessarily righteous. There's a difference. There's righteousness and then there's right. Are you in right standing? That's what it means to be righteous, in right standing. Some of us got dirty hearts. Vigilance is judgment. Those people are easier identifiable to me. Some claim to be in Morocco and entitled to a U.S. passport. Yes, some claim. You're absolutely correct. Some claim. None of that stuff matters. None of it matters from the contemplation of the law. It is a waste of time. You look nice in your dashikis and in your fez hats, and you look great. Wonderful. You're trying to create a self-identity. I have no problem with that. What standing do you have in the law is the question. The legal order. Thank you, Divine. Hit the like button, please. Or the unlike button. At this point, it doesn't really matter. It was easy to see Don Killam was a scam artist, but some people want something without doing any work. So there are easily preyed upon. And you know, the way that the elite look at it is, if you're able to be preyed upon, then you probably deserve it. And the sentiment is that if you're ignorant of the law, you have no excuse. Why? Why do they say that? To be insensitive jerks? I don't think so. I think at some point in time, we got to get to the point where we stop making excuses about the past and we start doing something about the future. The only way that you're going to do something about the future is through knowledge. The past is not going to help you. It's just for reference. If you actually want to go somewhere, do something, grow, here is your knowledge. Here is your present. Do something about it here. If you don't know how to pick up a book or to rationally or employ rational analysis, ask questions objectively, not with ill intent, in other words. Well, you said this, so why is this? You're trying to trap people. Your heart is dirty because you're coming in with ill intent. You don't really want to, you don't want to have right standing. You don't want righteousness. You just want to run your mouth. That's it. You just want people to look up to you. I'm a god out here. Well, then help the people. Don't discourage. Don't shit on people if you're a god. Archer, some out there stating the Moroccan-American Treaty of Peace and Friendship and say they are in Morocco and are of the soil of America and entitled to foreign national. How is that working out? I ain't even got to go into all that. How is it working out? How's it working out for them? How's it working out for the Moors that got, marching around with rifles? How's it working out for Grandmaster whatever, Jay or whatever? How's that working out for any of them? That's all I'm saying. Where's the breaking news? The U.S. has chosen to recognize foreign nationals as far as them being, leave them alone. The police are not to engage them anymore. This just in. Because don't you think that would be big news if somebody literally had remedy there? This movement is not new. Do you know that there were so-called Hebrew Israelites in the 80s that left the United States and moved over into Israel off this same type of ideology? This is not new. Where's the remedy? Who has repeatable, observable remedy that you're willing to risk your family, your United States citizenship, which grants you commercial permissions to feed your family, to operate in business and commerce? You're going to put that all on the line for a YouTuber. And look at the background. Look at the background. What's in the background? They got access to Treasury direct accounts. I done filed the 1099 OID and I done bankrupted and called on the interest and the taxes on that case. That's what you got to do, is file it into the case. Look at the background. Look at their video quality. Picture dark as all outdoors. You can't even see their face. You couldn't upgrade your camera system, but you doing big things like that? Get the hell out of here, man. Y'all better wake up. Look at these characters. Look at these characters. That's who's selling you. There are Moors that have won by standing on that square, but being a Moor can also lead you down the wrong path if you don't understand. Okay. I've got remedy. I had these very plates on my car. These very plates on my car. Let me get rid of that. Okay. Do you see these plates? So-called trust plates. These were on my car. They were rocking for quite a while. You probably can't see. You see all the blemish on there? They were on my car for quite a while. On my truck. You know how many times I got pulled over with these? Twice. Do you know how many times I got a ticket? Oh, once. I got a ticket once. The other time I did not. Ask anybody. Ask Bad Wolf or somebody, that lives in my state or whatever, that know of me. I have gone in the motor vehicle. I have rescinded the driver's license. I've done all of that. I've written the DMV. My truck. These are my trust plates. I got pulled over. It was late, early. I came back from a drinking, having fun with some friends. Right, me and my guy. And we sitting in the parking lot of BW3s, is a chicken place, local, I think local. And police pull up on us. I got footage of it. But anyways, later for that. We're sitting there just talking. It's late, 1 o'clock in the morning, something like that. Obviously, the police pull up and they pulled that same old bull, right? Professional bull crap. We got reports that there's been burglaries in the area. So we're just checking. I'm like, there ain't no burglary here. It's just us two talking here in my truck, right? So it was a female first. She become all aggressive and escalating the situation. License and registration. I said, I don't have to show you no license and registration. I'm doing it. I'm doing the same thing you're trying to tell people to do. I don't got to give you anything. because you don't have probable cause, et cetera, telling them the whole thing, blah, blah, blah. They're going down the whole rundown, everything I learned from every guru out there. You do have to show me, she says. You do. No, I don't. I don't have to. We going back and forth. Eventually I say, call a lieutenant to the scene. I'm not talking to you. I'm not doing anything. Oh, you going to do this? Yeah. No, I'm not. So I stood my ground. She walks away from my window as the driver and goes over to the passenger and tries to badger him. Can I see your license and registration? I said, you don't have to show her a doggone thing. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. Well, my passenger gave his. I said, man, you didn't have to do that. She ain't got nothing with you, right? So long story short, the lieutenant shows up on the scene. I got these on the back of my car. And the first thing he says is, are you one of them sovereign citizens? I said, absolutely not. And I said, I strongly encourage you not to just flippantly throw that out there. I said, because I would usually sue you for something like that, because that's basically defamation of character and blase, because I know that they're being reported as some kind of domestic terrorism. So why would you be calling me a domestic terrorist? My company is here. They don't know. You know what I'm saying? So anyways, he says, well, basically he's like, and I noticed you got those plates on the back. Can you explain what those plates are? I said, yeah, those are trust plates. See, the trust owns this, blase, went through the whole rigmarole, blah, 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 blah. So long story short, he says, okay. He was like, well, you don't seem like you're causing any trouble or whatever like that. He was like, do you want to press not charges, but do you want to file a complaint against my officer? I said, absolutely not. I said, she's just doing her job. I said, he's like, well, is there a way that you can educate me on this trust situation and all this kind of stuff? I said, sure, absolutely. I gave him my YouTube channel. I gave him a little note with my phone number and all. I said, call me anytime. I'll educate you on this whole situation. I told him a little bit about it. But my point is, many will perceive that as a win, when in fact, what is really going on here? How about, I've heard of this, you don't appear to be causing any problems, and because my officers approached you based upon a claim that there's been burglaries in the area, which I clearly know there wasn't, because I've been sitting here. It was a parking lot. I've been sitting here this whole time. We've been yapping it up and talking. Ain't nobody been over here burglarizing nothing. He knows I knew they were saying just to approach, probably racially profiling or something. I don't know what it was. But my point is, don't take that as an occasion to claim that a process is working and all that. Clearly, the officers were being professional. The lieutenant was on the scene. It was de-escalated. I'm talking competently and professionally. Obviously, I'm not, man, nigga, I ain't doing nothing, cuz. You see this right here, cuz? You know what I'm saying? That's when you get into problems. And but they had no probable cause. I was not a threat to anybody. We're sitting here minding our own business. They just wanted to see what we were doing. Do you get what I'm saying? Are you picking up what I'm putting down? I'm not going to go and preach that, oh, my system works because they left me alone, because they never should have bothered me in the first place, really, right? I wasn't harming anybody or causing any problems. So, Divine, just because something appears that, that somebody won because they made a great argument, perhaps they kept a cool head, the police had no reason to really bother them, don't perceive that as a win or that a system works or a process works. Sometimes cops just don't want to be bothered. As long as you ain't hurting anybody, okay, I see what you're doing. You're one of them. All right. Are you going to cooperate? No, you're not. Okay. Well, I got two ways to deal with this. Either I take you downtown, I got to fill out a long report and go through all that to explain that you just refuse to work with me, or I can let you go since you ain't hurting anybody and I can go on about my day. Anyways, moving on. All right. Yeah. Misinformation. Okay. Do you have any book recommendations to help out with getting this whole process? Yes, absolutely. I have a lot of them, as you can see. But which process? To make it simple, okay? If you want to do true status, wait. First of all, if you don't like the United States, you want to get out, I gave you the remedy. As per 8 USC section 1481, revised statute section 1999. That is how you expatriate, or your right. It explains your right. And if you read the 8 USC section 1481, go back to the actual code, it's going to tell you what you need to do in order to expatriate. Okay, that's number one. Now, if you don't want to go to that furthest, that far reach or extreme, the law also provides you another remedy. You can have your rights, your status, and standing recognized by the court. You have to make your case, though. You have to show why it is that you are owed this perceived legally protectable interest. And you have to show that there's a legally protectable interest there. And if you win, you will have a judgment, a court order. Then you could take that around with you wherever you want to go, to any industry or business. And you can say, I have a court order recognizing my status and standing and rights. Those are the two options you have. Both are legally protectable. Both are within law. But you cannot create your own private process. I don't care if it's by affidavit, so-called affidavit. Most of these affidavits are not legitimate anyways. They're not even created properly. They're not even in accordance with the statutory requirements to create it. You see what I'm saying? Some of us have notaries signing things that they're not even supposed to be signing. So yes, I do have book recommendations, depending on which area that you are looking for recommendations and assistance in. If it's trust, yes, I have estate planning books and what have you. If it's, well, you got to let me know what it is specifically. Heather Bell, Patreon for KnowledgeWell Media has all the information videos on each step. Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you. I have a Patreon, which has all of this information there, video after video. I think I'm up to 100 and something videos over there. That is those are exclusive videos that go deeper into these topics that I discuss here on the weekly. Is it worth your investment into your own economy? From trust to proper status correction, backed up by law. You are without excuse because I have made and I have afforded you that avenue. Go to my Patreon. I will put it up for you once again. Thank you very much, Ray, for that. Here it is. Go to patreon.com/KnowledgeWell for you. All are welcome, but that is my select area where I embed things that I don't necessarily share with the public because I work hard at the research. Therefore, I should be recompensed for my hard work. If you expect something for free, that is not an investment into your future. Why do you think people go into huge amounts of debt, going to these Ivy League schools, hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt? Because the true knowledge and light and understanding is never free, because it would not be equitable if it was. You don't respect things when they are handed to you for free. You take them for granted because you know it's plentiful, obviously, because it's free. You only pay for those things that are actually have value. That is by definition, or excuse me, that is the definition of value, what somebody is willing to pay, the amount somebody is willing to pay for something. So I afford that. Patreon. Everything I'm talking to you about and so-called disclosing to you is there. Eat all you want. moving forward. We're going to be ending up here shortly. Thank you for being here. Divine. Are we saying declaration of trust, status, etc. don't work? No. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying your private processes do not work. You cannot recreate the wheel, is what I'm saying. The law has already afforded us legal remedy. Ignorance of that law is of no excuse, is what I'm saying. I'm not saying it's not there. I found it. I'm saying it is your fault if you don't find it. Archer, shut down with proof it doesn't work. They give misinformation to try to sell tickets, not caring if the people put their family at risk, lose homes, livelihood, etc. Amen. Amen. Everything is freaking trying something. Everything is purely hypothetical and conjectural. Think tanks. I can't tell you how many people that I have heard have lost homes, gotten locked up, lost their jobs behind this stuff. Stuff that has no foundation in law. Thank you. I was talking about Yusuf El when I said he was pissed. Pissed about what? He always pissed. I'm starting to empathize. I don't like being upset all the time. I don't want to be. When you're over emotional, you cut off your intellect. You cut off your ability to rationally analyze. And if you cannot rationally analyze, you cannot discover what is known as natural law. And if you cannot discover natural law, then you only have one other option, which is positive law. Therefore, because you cannot self-govern because you are temperamental, contentious unnecessarily, then you'll never find natural law. You'll never find the peace that you are in pursuit of. Never, ever. If the root is poison, then the fruit will also be. It's called the fruit of the poisonous tree doctrine. Come in with the right standing. Come in righteousness and equity. Stop attacking people because they don't agree with your sentiment. Who are you? How dare you just trying to stand on somebody else? KnowledgeWell Media, what's up, brother? Hey, MacBone, how you doing? Me and my comrades at work were discussing to have Zoom consultation for our upcoming private detective, bodyguard, and bounty hunter business. Okay. Okay. The sage, the wise man, is the first one to admit that he's wrong, needing improvement. Okay. Roblox says, real talk. Bishop MacBone says, due diligence is a requirement for being a law-abiding citizen. It abso-freaking-lutely is. You have to demonstrate that you are competent in law. We're not demonstrating that we're competent in law. That's why they always send you out for a competency evaluation when you come in there averring this stuff. It has no foundation in law is the key phrase. It doesn't stand in law. It has no standing. Standing by legal definition is the relationship one has to an issue of justice that is justiciability, or an issue that is justiciable by the courts, by the legal order. This doesn't have it. Wasted my doggone money. A white police officer friend of mine thought Moroccan American was a comic book, because it may as well be. It may as well be. Here we go. Divine. No one who has won in court through the process we are discussing will ever be on the news, nor will it be in law. I love that show, The Proof. True story. A few years ago, I hooked up with a Moor, paid him. A few years ago, I hooked up with a Moor and I paid him money for ID and private plates, got stopped by local police where I used to live, and needless to say, my car got towed. To thine own self be true. Stop hurting our people by generating false information and disinformation. And I'm going to say it like I've said it before. Here's how you challenge successfully someone asserting or making a claim that their process works. Number one, they better have current state law, federal law, constitutional law to back up their assertion. And when you look at a deliberation or a holding of a court, you'll see how they derive at their finding. It is very methodical, it is step by step, and it is persuasive. And most importantly, it is backed up in the history or case precedents and by the intent of the legislature. So why would you think that your argument, your individual personalized, personal styled argument is going to hold up in a court of law and therefore have or be justiciable in the legal order? Who are you in contemplation of the law as established? Who do you think you are? It works because it goes along with the law and the language of the law. That's the only way it works. That's the only way it will be justiciable by the legal order. Joseph Hanson, you're welcome. BB Productions says greetings to the family. And Heather Bell, I'm a Patreon member, and I'll be honest, I haven't been able to watch your videos, but I will take time now. It's not a problem. Guess what? They're going to stay there. No one said anybody has to rush through anything. I put that there for my Patreon subscribers and their and liberal or free access. It's not free because you're paying what, $15, $30 a month. That supports me and my time. I don't have any support otherwise. How do I justify spending 16 hours in research and study? I have to justify that. I have to reconcile that with my family, right? Makes sense? It's a quid pro quo. It's an arrangement. It's an agreement that we have. But I can assure you, I'm not getting rich over here. I can assure you that my Patreon does not support my bills. I can assure you of that. I can assure you that the level of donations or, my Cash App or whatever are under $100 a month. Hell, $20 a month. Ain't nobody getting rich over here off of this, except in spirit, because I know I'm doing something. I'm being diligent, and I'm here for the people. I'm trying to help the people. No, fuck trying. I am helping the people. That's my reward, because it sure ain't financial. So you ain't got to worry about that. My consultation is $60 per hour. And if you ask anybody, I usually give 2 hours because I'm passionate about what I do. I actually care about people, not about my reputation as far as being a god. Bishop MacBone says freedom is never free. And lastly, Bishop MacBone, a citizen can engage in due diligence for free at a public law library, the first place that I encountered the Black's Law Dictionary. Amen. You ain't never spoke more truth. There is no excuse. And now with the advent of the AI, you doubly, triply have no excuse. You should not be deceived. You should be deceived no longer, except if the information or your source is inaccurate. But always establish every word in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses, as the scripture says. Don't just take someone. Same thing with a medical doctor. Diagnosis of cancer. Why would you stop at one diagnosis as if the medical practice doesn't make mistakes? You go get a second, and then, if necessary, a third opinion. Your health, your vitality, your longevity, your legacy is worth more than that, to depend on one person's opinion in a practice of medicine. Listen, a practice of medicine. They are practicing. And you're going to take one person's word for it as gospel? Bishop MacBone said even the gods don't argue with law enforcement officers. Why would you? Why would you waste your time arguing with a law enforcement officer? For what? They cannot change. Once they commit to what they say they're going to do, they're going to follow through because they don't want to look like they are incompetent in their job. Even if they're wrong, they're still going to follow through, at least at the stop. Your only recourse of action and remedy in law is to come to court and argue your side of the case, whether it was an unconstitutional stop or detainment or whatever. Have at it. But that cop ain't gonna change his mind now that he got you pulled over. So what you wasting your time for? Take the ticket. Don't get your window broke out. It's gonna cost you. Don't get tased. Why? Why risk your life to argue that they're wrong on the side of the road? You're wasting your time. Hey, you might slip through a couple times, but sooner or later it's going to catch up. You don't want that kind of reputation. Be a law-abiding member. You are merely an incorporated member of the state. You are legally linked. Do you understand what that means? I hope you watched the beginning of this to understand what that means to be legally linked. I did want to, howbeit, just show you this. Then we got to get going here. Legal definition of citizenship. And then we'll do a recap and then we'll close out. Okay. So if you have any other comments, questions, or concerns, make sure you get them in now. Here's the deal. Citizenship. I'm going to read you a couple different definitions for clarity's sake. It says a citizen is a person. See, I asked for citizenship. I didn't say a citizen, but whatever. A citizen is a person, legal or otherwise, artificial, that all is encompassed within that, who by place of birth. Let me ask you something. A U.S. citizen, then, is a person or type of person that was birthed in the United States. Do you not know that the United States came about in 1789? And do you not know that the United States is an artificial, jural person? So if you're born of or in the United States, that means you were born of an artificial person or in an artificial entity. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? So a citizenship or citizen is a person who, by place of birth, the place of birth in that fictional society, nationality of one or both parents, or naturalization is granted full rights and responsibilities as a member. Your membership is created by a process, a legal process, no less. Therefore, under positive law, not natural law. Stop fighting a natural battle or making natural arguments in the legal order. The two do not have, nor can they have, parity. The two are on completely separate planes of existence. One is a legal existence, an artificial existence, a spiritual existence, a ghostly-like experience or existence. The other one is natural. Those things that you can plainly see, perhaps are tangible, repeatable, observable. Aren't you natural? Do you think you're a ghost? You are not a ghost. I can see you. No matter how still you stay. I can see you. You're natural. All right. I want a different definition here. So, where is it at? Watch this. I'm gonna just do this. Come on now, give me what I need. Excuse me. Give me what I need. Some of these terminologies are being changed for good reason. Give me one moment. Give me one moment. Come on now. So you can clearly see UN Press. I would say that this is reputation, has a reputation. I mean, is a bona fide, UN. Nationality implied as an existing legal link to a state. So I did not make up that phraseology or terminology. That's what I'm attempting to prove here. I am proving. I didn't make that up. Citizenship is the legal link to a state. Okay, let's see if I can find another one. StudyLib.net, health science obstetrics, citizenship, and sometimes they lead to the disappearance of one's legal link to a state or statelessness. You see it there? Okay, again, I didn't make that up. Intelligence online. Kiev and Moscow weaponized citizenship in battle. These include citizenship, a specific legal link to a state or nationality. Okay, let's see. United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees, legal link to a state. They're talking about citizenship, birth registration, and citizenship. Do I need to say more? Have I proven it? You can see legal link all through here. Citizenship. Okay. Again, provable fact. Okay. The reason why I said that is, one moment. Again, this is important and vital to understand, to your understanding, so that you stop arguing these frivolous arguments that, they're violating my humanity. I didn't sign up for this. Well, yes, you did through the legal link. U.S. citizenship provides a legal link to the state without which you will not be linked. You will be merely an individual, single human being. This is your vessel, your citizenship, your vessel in which you ride upon the sea of commercial activity, or the sea called commerce. Okay? You do need this legal link to the state in order to participate in commerce. If you like being able to work here, that is your mark of the beast, without which, what did the scripture say? You will not be able to buy, sell, or trade. I've done at length, proved what, in fact, the mark of the beast is. It is the mark of the system. It is the legal name, and it is identified through the Social Security number, the number of a man. That's what Revelation says that the mark of the beast is, and that is what it is. And so through citizenship, once again, you become a member, which legally links you, the human, to the state. It is never really about you. It is about the ship that you were granted. Remember, in the expatriation demonstration I gave you, you have a right to expatriate, meaning you have a right to sever this link from the state, just as you were enjoined to the state through taking citizenship or nationality. You also have the right to end it and terminate it through expatriation. With that being said, you have this to empower you to participate in the commerce within the state and in the U.S. That's why you have it. That's your ticket to ride, as it were. That's your game piece in the proverbial game or literal game of Monopoly. That's why you have it. Why would you want to rescind it? Why would you look at it with disdain? It is a separate legal entity. For citizenship is also known as the act of incorporation into the state. You are incorporating into the state. That's what citizenship is. Well, look up the legal definition of incorporation, and you're going to find that it means it's a legal process, once again, a legal process to create a separate entity known as a corporation or what have you, or a corporate person that will give you the ship or vessel you need to go upon the sea of commerce and interlope and have intercourse in the state. Any questions? So stop hating the ship that you have, that you are riding on the sea of commerce in. Stop hating it. And stop hating the state that granted it to you. All you have to do is use the game piece properly and under the correct authority and in the proper capacity. Our problem is, for the longest, we have been identifying, meaning that the natural man, the human, has been identifying as the legal entity as opposed to being separate and distinct from it. How do we know that we are separate and distinct from it? Because it is, again, granted to you when you join the state. In other words, before you join the state, you didn't have it. It is something that is granted to you. For what purpose? To participate in commerce in the state. You create it through the act of incorporation, which is an application process through citizenship. It takes on its own separate and distinct existence. What are you pissed about? What are you mad about? That's just the way the system plays. Do you get pissed when you sit down at a board game and select your own game piece and it lands on luxury tax and has to pay $75? Are you that type of game player where you pick up the board and throw it across the room? What are you mad about? It's part of the game. Pay the doggone phony fiat currency $75 and push on. You're going to go past go again and collect $200. It's just a cyclical process. Learn to love it. You might get good at it. It's all a game. The world is a stage. The ones who are injured by that fact are the ones who are without the knowledge of what is really and truthfully going on. So you have a bunch of disenfranchised individuals here that are ready to burn the system down because they truly don't know. What are the people destroyed for? For what they do not know, aka the lack of knowledge. That's what the people are destroyed for. Don't be one of them. You don't have to be. You can change and make change today. You don't have to perpetuate the ignorance, because that's what's going on here. It's pervasive. It's everywhere. You do not trust me on this one. You don't have time for those games anymore. Don't be tossed to and fro by all these strange doctrines. Come straight up the middle. If Donald Trump can do it, you can do it. And anybody else that made it or so-called made it. The system works if you know how to work it. But you have to have an interest too. I think I've said enough. It's 2 hours and 22 minutes. You can't find use out of the things that I have just articulated and conveyed to you. I don't know what else to tell you. If you just want to argue, you just want to try and discredit somebody because you don't like what you've heard, save it. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care about your threats. I don't care about all the negative things you want to say about me personally. Say something about this information. Bring your facts. Anybody wanting to debate the topic, the door is wide open. I will make a special allowance, a special live just for you. But come with them facts. I'm done with all that BS, bickering and crap. I don't want no parts of it. If there's 5 people that want help, those 5 people, you know how to find me. I'm not interested in your popularity contest, nor am I interested in becoming part of a gang so that we have a mob-like mentality over anybody else that challenges our position. Grow up. All private trusts need to be settled under Article 3, and all birth certificates must be authenticated. Again, make sure that you have legally protectable interests, rights, and what have you as you make assertions and claims. It's got to be backed up by law. Have you ever seen a statute that says you must authenticate a birth certificate? If you have one, then you have a legally protectable interest in doing that or in that assertion or claim. Okay? I'm going to tell you how to safeguard yourself from erroneous applications of man-made ideology. And that is tested by the law. They should challenge your guru, your local guru. Ask them, can you please demonstrate in law where that process that you are claiming I need to pay you for works? If they can't do that, walk away. Secondly, they should be able to define the processes, the terminologies used, and to be able to explain it to you. Okay? To the point where you just have to know that what they're saying and what they're claiming is true. Okay? And then peep their background. And I mean, observe, look at their camera quality. You call that superficial? I don't think so. Because if you have something demonstrable that works, it should be fruit in your life. Huh? I believe that. Call me, we're not supposed to judge. Then how do I protect myself and my family from fraud? Huh? From somebody that might try to harm one of my family members? How do I protect them if I don't judge? No, we must judge. We must judge. Heather Bell says Donald Trump maneuvered very well. That's right. I don't care what you feel about the man or any of these people that are perceived to have great wealth. Let's get the personal issues out of the way. Okay. All right. With that being said, I think I've been on long enough. I really appreciate you all for being here. A little bit more candid, a little bit more abrasive than I really would like to be. But everything like me, I'm saying enough to enough. Remedy is here. I will make it available. And it is in law. Go on over and visit me at my Patreon if you need to. If not, oh well. I'll put it up for you again. The Patreon's right here. Patreon.com/KnowledgeWell for you. Join us. Have access, unfettered access to all the information you need. Video, rewind, pause, do whatever you got to do. But it's there. I've made it available. If you would like a consultation to discuss your personalized or personal and individualized situations, hit me at KnowledgeWell, the number 4, the letter U at gmail.com. And let's get it cracking. As usual, none of this is intended to be, nor should it ever be construed as legal advice. If you need legal advice, please seek yourself a competent attorney. I am not that for you. And what else? Yeah, we'll be back here live 10 a.m. Central Standard Time next week, Sunday. There has been a sharp uptick in presentations based on the debate topics and things like that I've been dealing with. Maybe that will slow down. Maybe it will pick up. I'm hoping for more people. I don't mind that you have an adverse position. It does not cause me to hate you or dislike you even. Okay? If you can sharpen me, I will accept the sharpening. But I will not respect or accept your disrespect because I don't feel that I deserve any disrespect for that which I am passionate about in the assistance and helping of others. I don't feel that should afford me any level of disrespect. I don't get paid enough to be disrespected. All right. So, and if you would like to donate, which apparently a lot of people don't, you can do so at CashApp, $AmericanConsulate. CashApp is $AmericanConsulate. All right. All right. With that being said, I guess I'm going to one more comment. Let's see what's going on here. When you are born, your parents are guardians. The state has legal authority. We will have to talk. We will touch on that topic. Remind me. That's something you want to discuss. All right. All right. With that being said, I'm gonna get on off of here. Now you've been made free. The question is, what are you gonna do with it? Love you all. We'll see you next time. Same bat station, same bat channel. And as always, you make sure that you wield these weapons wisely. We'll talk to you soon. Love you all. Peace.
Start your journey today by liking, subscribing, and sharing our YouTube channel, KnowledgeWell Media, or by going to our Square site at knowledgewell-media.square.site and perusing over the available content and information. Also by submitting your email at the bottom of the Square site page in the Stay in the Loop section to receive priority information, specials, and other insider details. Or by signing up for a 1-hour consultation to tailor your specific educational needs in beginning your journey. You may do so at the aforementioned Square site, once again at knowledgewell-media.square.site. Here are a few other items in demand on our Square site. The Person Defined series, a 9-part video lecture series, comprehensively outlining the scheme to artfully deceive mankind into trading away his birthright, his natural liberties, and inherent rights. Pre-orders for The Yellow Bricks of Emerald, the first edition, offered presently as an ebook only. This book comprehensively uncovers the legal schemes, past, present, and future, of the elite powers and the U.S., subjecting American citizens to servitude and allegiance due to their own ignorance. The KnowledgeWell Video Lecture Series Trust Course, a comprehensive lecture series educating on the history, effects, and administration of the wealth-preserving, asset-protecting, private commercial entity known as a trust. Plus, we have our very own template and instructions to help you set up yours. And, coming soon, our apparel and product store for all things KnowledgeWell, including shirts, hats, jackets, cups, bumper stickers, and more. For all this and much, much more, as well as for any questions or comments, email to knowledgewell4u@gmail.com or go to our Square site at knowledgewell-media.square.site. And now, you've been made free. What are you going to do with it?